Right. Welcome everybody to Meaningful Monday. It's great to be back with all of you again, and I'm very excited for this call tonight because sometimes we think this whole goal thing is overrated, or I don't know, take it for granted, or there's too much talk about it, everyone's going on about it. So I thought, let me put this lesson together for the beginning of the year and just share some statistics on the subject, which might help clarify things if you think I'm so over goal setting. I mean, I must be honest, I've even said that years gone by myself. There were years when I said I'm going to let the year flow and see how it goes, and there were other years I said I'm adamant, I've got all these goals, I'm going to set them, let me see how I can achieve them. So after all of that, I just thought everyone goes through that at some point. I'm sure they have different thoughts about it, so let me share what I'm sharing here tonight. So welcome everybody. I just want to thank so much everyone who's on the call tonight. It's lovely to have you, and mostly to say the ones that I see regularly, it's lovely to have all of you back. The Silva grads, big welcome to you for joining as well. So good to have you all together. The Meaningful Mondays are recorded. They do go up onto YouTube, so if anyone has a particular issue with it, then just hide your camera. You're welcome to send any questions by chat if you wish. Otherwise, please feel free. Everything that you say, you contribute to make the discussion richer. There is absolutely no way that your contribution can make it any less. So I do invite you to speak and contribute as much as you want, ask questions or share your insights. That's really what it's all about. So the Meaningful Mondays, just to tell you, this is the beginning one of February. This is February 1st Monday. The first Monday of March, I will not be available. I'll be in the United States, and the time zone and where I am on that day are a little bit challenging, so I won't be able to do one. So I'll pre-record that one and send out the link to it on that Monday, if that's okay with everybody. Just want to let you know, there's no Zoom link for the one in March, but you will receive an email with the link to the recorded one. Okay, is that all right with everyone? I'm sure you're all saying yes or nodding or something. Okay, so let's just talk about goals for a second. If you remember, January's Meaningful Monday was living in harmony with universal law. And there's some of you who were there who are here tonight again. So for those of you who've listened to it, you'll be able to relate. If you want to give any insights or comments, you're welcome. But I think that living in harmony with universal law of the previous one was really an important lesson for the reason that goal setting is an intellectual process and goal achieving is a lawful process. What I mean by that is it happens according to universal law. So just the way that the law of gravity applies, there are other universal laws that always apply, whether we believe in them or not, or whether we're aware of them or not. So I shared those with everyone to create an awareness of what they are. Welcome, Ben. I'm just going to mute your line, and you can unmute yourself anytime, just because there's a bit of noise in the background, but welcome, and I'm so glad you're with us. So when it comes to living in harmony with universal law, it helps us achieve our goals. So I thought, let me take February and link it to that understanding about goal achievement being a lawful process. But even though it's a lawful process, there are always two things going on. The one is what we are doing in the physical dimension. And what I mean by that is what we're doing in the physical world to achieve our goals. So physical world is actions I'm taking, ways I'm behaving, processes I'm using, systems I'm applying, okay? And then there's what am I doing in the non-physical dimension? And the non-physical dimension is everything that you can't see, smell, taste, or touch. So it's what am I thinking? Where is my mind and my thoughts? What am I feeling? Because if you listen to the previous one, you'll know that that's creating your reality, because everything starts with a thought. So when it comes to goal achievement, and you think about the non-physical things, what stops us from achieving goals? I mean, let's be honest, it's things like procrastination. It's things like just having negative self-talk and having self-doubt that makes us go into a holding pattern and not take any action, or being indecisive, or self-sabotage, all these things start with thoughts. It's a mindset issue. So tonight I'm going to just share real practical tips for the physical world and the non-physical world to help us achieve our goals. However, I am going to start the lesson with setting goals. And I'm going to ask you just to have an open mind and an open heart and be patient with the first quarter of the lesson, because we might say, oh, I know this, please don't go over goal setting again. If I hear it from one more person, I'm going to plutz. Just be patient and open-minded, because it's so important that your goal setting is done, and it's done a certain way. Because if it's not, I've got some statistics here which will show you this, the results are significantly different to goal setters or people who are not specific goal setters a certain way. Now, the truth is we all set goals. Even if you don't think you're setting goals, trust me, whatever you're thinking in your mind about what you actually want is a goal. So you may not think you're a goal setter, you are a goal setter. On the other hand, if you are this goal setter who actually is quite serious about writing your goals down and being specific on them, well done for joining this Meaningful Monday. Well done. And I hope that I add value to you so you can see the work that you've done and what you've applied for your goals and how this ties up. And I hope that I can help you making this year a year of disciplined action, focus, energy, motivation, and consistency, so that you can not only achieve your goals, but way exceed your goals and really have an awesome 2019. Because it's possible. It's absolutely possible to have a wonderful 2019. It just takes the continuous awareness of what I'm going to share here tonight. Okay, so let's just begin. What's necessary to achieve goals? Well, it's these 7 things. Look, I'm sure there are more than these 7 things, but these are the 7 things I came up with, and I'm going to just delve into each one, and they might come up as different headings, but this is really what they're about. The first one is clarity. So clarity is the power of goal setting. Goal setting gives us clarity. When we have to sit down and write out our goals, that's when we really become clear. The second thing is energy. We need to have energy to achieve our goals. So when we have goals, they need to be things that we really want, and desire for that goal is really important. I might mention this a few times during this webinar. Myself and Anthony and Nancy, who are all on here, and my mother, I'm not sure if she's joined the call yet, we've just done a mastermind on Think and Grow Rich with my mentor from the John Maxwell team. Paul Martinelli is actually the president of the John Maxwell team. And I might share a few things out of Think and Grow Rich. It's one of the most phenomenal books written of all time. And it's not just about money and, let's make fortunes. It's the most comprehensive book about think and grow, personal growth. And the one thing they talk about is desire. So desire is really required to have the energy to continuously go after your goal and not let it fall by the wayside. And the other one is to have a real clear purpose. Like, why do you want this? So I'll repeat that ahead when I go through each one of these. The third one is self-discipline. Seriously, if you're making notes, write these 7 things down. Self-discipline, 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 self-discipline. If you want to achieve your goals and you want to make your life better continuously on an upward trend throughout your life, the one thing you've got to improve on a weekly or daily, as much as you can basis, is self-discipline. And the good thing is, it's something that you practice, and you might go off the rails, and that's okay. And I've done it, and thousands and millions of others have also gone off the rails. The important thing is that as soon as you notice, just get back on the rails, but just attempt to massage and exercise your muscle of self-discipline, because we need to be consistent to achieve goals. And really, I'm talking about discipline right from the outset. Discipline with how you do goal setting, discipline with how you write it out, the plans that you create to achieve those, and the daily disciplines you take, the weekly disciplines you take, and the monthly disciplines you take to achieve your goals. Then number 4 is productivity. I'm going to give you some tools tonight to help you stay focused on a daily basis. I don't know if you have any priority planners or not. You may or you may not. I've used several over my years, especially in corporate. Every time I had a different boss or new person in the training department, I got a new version of a priority planner. They're all great. I'm going to share one with you tonight. comes from Brendan Bouchard. I think it's the latest and greatest. It sort of trumps all the ones I've used before. I'm going to give you that tonight. It's important to know where you start every day to be a successful person. And there's a saying from Bruce Lee that says, if you spend too much time thinking about a thing, you'll never get it done. If you spend too much time thinking about a thing, you'll never get it done. So we do need to have productivity tools. I'll share those with you. The next one is influence. Boy, oh boy, I can tell you this. We need the right influence. If I put you in a suburb today, in a crime-ridden area somewhere in the world, and left you there, and you had no way of getting out, it would only be a matter of time that you'd be so influenced by that. To survive, you'd have to, do things you would never do today. So by the same token, if I put you in an environment where people are high achievers, highly disciplined, highly motivated, highly supportive, and highly encouraging, and keep you, most importantly, accountable, you would be way more successful than what you are today. So your influence around your environment is very, very important. The third one is courage. So this is a funny one. Why would you need courage? Well, you need courage because growth and goals, as you're growing, put us outside our comfort zone. And, they always say there's an element of fear there. It's true. It's not uncommon. We're all going to feel this fear because it's natural. There's an older Meaningful Monday, which you can watch. It's called something about self-sabotage. It explains that stickman diagram of how the conscious and subconscious mind work, and how automatically when you think a thought or have an idea or a desire that's different to where you are in your current conditions and circumstances, it automatically triggers doubt as a thought, fear as an emotion, and anxiety expressed to the body. It's called the terror barrier. So courage we do need. So courage really is a mindset. And for people like Lachlan and perhaps Anthony and perhaps Nancy, and I'm not sure who else who's ever done the John Maxwell 21 Laws of Leadership, you know that law number 15 is the law of victory. And it says a victory is a mindset. And there's stories in there of leaders, up against all odds, but they won. They overcame things because of the mindset that they have. So when it comes to courage, it's something you cultivate, is this winning mindset. I mean, the saying, winners never quit and quitters never win, is so true. If you just read that every day to yourself and reminded yourself, it actually just gives you a bit more courage, because no matter how you go in life, there will always be bumps in the road. And one thing for sure, the road to success is uphill all the way. So knowing this, we do need to develop courage and the right mindset, and also strong desire, and more importantly, a strong sense of purpose. That gives us more courage. There's a book called Man's Search for Meaning, written by Viktor Frankl, who was in the concentration camps. A phenomenal book. And this psychiatrist survived the Holocaust in a concentration camp, and he wrote this book. And the bottom line of the whole book is this thing about sense of purpose. And he says, if you have a strong enough why, like why you are around, or why you're doing this, or why you are here, whatever it may be, if you have a strong enough why, you can overcome any how. So purpose definitely gives us more courage. So the why of your goals is very important, not just the goals, it's the why. It's the why, because it's really about who you become to achieve those goals. And lastly, commitment. When it comes to goals and achieving them, I'm here to tell you, which I'm sure you know, it's a you and you deal. It's all you. It's you and you. No one can achieve your goals for you. No one can think the right thoughts but you. No one can take the disciplined action but you. No one can remain positive, motivated, and on the right track every day but you. So commitment is a you and you deal, and really and truly commitment is the foundation to all successful accomplishment. If there's no commitment, or there's lack of commitment, the chances of succeeding are really low. They're probably not even close to being there. So without commitment, a goal is just a hope, really. It's nothing else. If there are no plans, it's nothing else. So why I talk about plans is when we have a goal and we start to put action plans towards the goal, and let me just say it outright, even if you don't know how it's going to actually manifest or how you're going to actually do something, especially when you're thinking big, which I recommend, just putting plans is already starting to convince your mind and yourself that you are committed. Otherwise, why would you write those plans? So those 7 points, if you've made notes, that's the top of the waves. Now we're just going to dig a little bit deeper into each of these. And by the way, if you've got questions at any time, please just ask the question. You don't need to ask my permission. Just unmute your line and come straight on with your questions. So let's talk about clarity. The first thing is there's a power in goal setting. There is a power in goal setting. And goal setting is the fundamental key to all lifelong success plans. So I'm talking about a fundamental thing we need to do to be successful in life, writing down our goals. So fundamentals need to be practiced daily. The problem is that we often take goal setting for granted. Do you know how many people I hear, especially today in this day and age, saying things like, yes, I know all about goals. Yep, I know I should, write them out. Yeah, I know that. Don't worry, I've thought about them and I'm clear in my head and I don't need to do that. Or, yeah, now I've got to write them in the positive and whatever. I'm here to tell you, be very, very careful about writing out your goals for granted, because there's something called the law of familiarity. The law of familiarity says if we're around anything long enough, we begin to take it for granted. Or if you hear something long enough, we begin to take it for granted. We've all heard about goal setting and writing out goals a zillion times. So the reason for my putting this on the Meaningful Monday tonight is to just say, whoa, please, just let's all, be a little bit humble, a little bit teachable, have an open mind, and let's go back to the fundamental basics. Because I'll tell you this, if you ever heard the term mastery, when you master your craft, mastery is the application of fundamentals over and over and over again. I don't know if you know this. If any one of you are familiar with martial arts, you'll know this. Fundamentals need to be practiced daily. The highest achievers in sport in the world, or whatever craft it can be, they are practicing the fundamentals. So that's why I talk about goal setting. The best coaches in the world, like John Wooden, he's written so many books. He's known for teaching fundamentals. He's not known for teaching new ideas. He's known for teaching fundamentals. So people always say, oh, Jeanine, can you please teach me something new? I hope I do on other Meaningful Mondays. Maybe the previous one on living in harmony with the laws was something new for some of you. But tonight this section is not new. And I'm saying this deliberately because if any of you were questioning, should I have my goals written down and plans to go with them, I'm here to tell you, please don't miss that step. If you haven't done it and you want to be successful this year, I'm going to be as bold as to say, you must do it. You must write your goals down. You must write them in the positive, and you must write plans to accompany them, plans on how you think you're going to achieve it. Okay. The other thing is your attitude towards goal setting. And I say attitude because when it comes to fundamentals, some people say, or they have an attitude like, I don't really need that. I really know how it's done, and I've done this before, and it's okay. My mindset's good. But if you just change the attitude to love fundamentals, change, like this is me. I came to this understanding that I want to change my attitude towards the basic fundamentals and go towards embracing them and loving them and saying, it's so wonderful that they're the basic things to do because I don't really know how to do this. I'm going to just repeatedly apply this because I know this is how I'll achieve mastery. I know this is how I'm going to be successful. And if you know this, you can have joy for a lifetime. You can have accomplishment and joy for a lifetime. It just takes the application of these simple fundamentals. So that's the first thing. there is power in goal setting, writing them down. And what is the power of goal setting? Well, it really does create our future. That's why it is so important. That's why we need to use them. We actually create our destiny. We shape our lives if we set goals. If you think about your own life, if you've been a goal setter, think about how much you've achieved when you did them. And if you've never been a goal setter, I'm just here to maybe say to you, try it. You'll be blown away when you look back on years gone by and when you set goals, what you achieved. So, as I said, we all have goals, whether we're aware of it or not. The problem is some people have lousy goals. And I'm going to be honest. Some people do have lousy goals. They have such low expectations in their goals. They just say things like, oh, I just, hope I can get through this day. I hope I can get through this year. Or I hope I'll have enough money to pay my lousy bills. That's not exciting. That's not compelling. That's not a wonderful feeling of a different and amazing life. I'm here to say to you, think big. Write big, bold goals. There's no point in writing goals slightly in line with where you are today. I just had a text message from Liesel, who sometimes joins Meaningful Mondays. She may even join tonight. And she just sent me this little message today talking about a friend who's also in this industry and spoke about highly improbable goals. Those were the words. Highly improbable goals, but very bloody exciting. And that's really what I want to suggest. When you write your goals, dream big. They always say a goal should excite and scare you at the same time. It should excite you because it should be so way more wonderful than where you are today. And yes, it should scare you somewhat. If it scares you, you know that it's the right goal. If it doesn't scare you, I'm telling you, your goal is too low. It's too low. It's got to scare you because of that thing I just mentioned with if something's out of harmony with your current conditioning or paradigm, it's automatic you're going to feel fear. That's what it is to step outside your comfort zone. They always say, you feel fear when you're outside your comfort zone. Outside the comfort zone is uncomfortable because of that feeling of fear. So definitely dream big. Now I want to share this with you. Okay, I'll come back to have a strong why. Let me just share this with you. A Harvard study was done in 1959, and the results were out in 1979, 20-year study. They took a class of MBA graduates. They were going to graduate, and they asked these MBA students if they had clear written goals. 3% said yes, they have clear written goals. 13% said yes, but they haven't written them down. And 84% said no. 10 years later, actually continued the study, by the way, for 20 years. I read this. But 10 years later, 13%, which was the ones who said yes but didn't write it down, were earning twice as much as the 84% who never wrote it down. Twice as much. The 3% who had goals and wrote them down were earning 10 times as much as the other 84% who never wrote them, and they earned more than the 97% combined. So the 3% earned more than the 97% combined. That is astounding. And even just to say they earned 10 times as much as the ones who never wrote down their goals. This is really important because this is the power of goal setting. I listened to an audio of Jack Canfield over the Christmas season, and he was talking about so many highly accomplished people that had all mentioned at some stage during an interview with Jack Canfield, and by the way, he's the international best-selling author of Chicken Soup for the Soul books, and they said they wrote down what they call their 100 goal list. It might have been their goal list for their whole lives, and it wasn't necessarily for 1 year. But these people said, as they came to their late years in their retirement or whatever, they were in their 70s and 80s, they achieved like almost all those goals. They had the most way out things they wrote down years ago when they were young, 100 mind-blowing goals. This is the power of writing down goals. So I think I've labored the point enough. I think you've understood what I'm trying to say, and I hope the point has come across. If you haven't yet written down your goals, you need to write them out, and you need to write them with a date so you know where to aim. We've all heard about SMART goals. They need to be specific. They need to be measurable. How do you know you've got them? Measure it. You need to have them. Now, when we say A for achievable, I don't mean it's got to be so close to where you are today that you're aiming low. I mean, it's that a part of you needs to know, wow, this is massive, but you can't also not believe you're going to get it, because then the goal's too far out and you're going to just not achieve it because your belief system is so out of sync with that goal. That's not healthy either. So as an example, this comes from the Think and Grow Rich study that we just did recently. Paul was earning $50,000 a year, and actually, sorry, he was earning $20,000 a year. And he got a mentor in his life who was mentoring him on the book Think and Grow Rich. And, you know, he thought about this idea of $1 million. And it was like, he doesn't even know how to think about $1 million. He's earning $20,000 a year. So, I mean, that's just like too far out. I mean, that's just not even going to be accepted by his subconscious mind. So he made a goal for $40,000. That's doubling his income. So you might not think that's a lot of money. Maybe you do, I don't know. But $20,000 to $40,000 for some of us is not that big a deal. The point is, he would never be able to accept $1 million if he's earning $20,000. But for him, 20 to 40 was massive in terms of how it changed his day-to-day living, not having to worry and struggle every single day. Can he put petrol in his car? You know, has he got enough money just to buy something to eat for the next day or two? So in his life, that was a big jump. I'm just saying, smart goals, A, must be achievable to some degree, but let it be a big goal and a big stretch as well. The R of the SMART goal, please don't be realistic. Be rewarding. We don't want realistic goals. Realistic goals are like what you've already achieved. We want rewarding. Make them bigger. Really, make them bigger and bolder. If you need to do that and it feels a bit uneasy, then say to yourself, okay, I want to achieve that maybe by 2020. So for 2019, I will achieve this. But you still have in your mind that big goal. So you may do that as well. Okay, let's just go back to this. Have a strong why. I've mentioned this before. When the why is strong enough, you can overcome any how. My friends, purpose is stronger than outcome. We don't want to have goals for the sake of achieving goals, or maybe let's talk about money for the sake of just having more money. There's nothing that compelling in, if you wanted more money and I just gave it to you, it would be a matter of time. It wouldn't satisfy you anymore. It would be, you know, just that. But if you had a purpose, why do you want that? This changes everything. This is the reason you want to have the goal. The reason is not to have the outcome. The reason is, who do you have to become to achieve that goal? How do you have to grow to achieve that goal? What is it that you need to learn? What skills do you need to add to your skill set to achieve that goal? This is about who you become. This is why we set goals. It's about your becoming. It's about your evolution. It's about your growth. That's why it's important to think about all areas of your life when it comes to goal setting, all of them. It's who you become, because if you were that person already, you would have already lived and manifested that goal. So we want them out there, but you want the why. So when you think about the why, what's the benefit? Is it freedom of something? Maybe it's freedom from an illness, if it's health, for example, or freedom from conditions that just give you ailments you don't need. That could be a health goal. So that's why you want it. You want to have, you know, free from suffering or whatever it may be. Or maybe it's the ability to do more things. Maybe it's the ability to have more time. If it's money, the why is, what new choices will it give you? What new contributions can you make to this planet, or people more disadvantaged than you, or good causes that are important for you and for this planet, you know, everybody, everything, all animals and plants, whatever it may be. What contribution can you make? That could be your why. So make sure that your why is strong enough. So you write the goal and you write why you want it, and then we're going to get into the plans. I love this. You can condition yourself with all the tools to succeed. But if you don't know why you're doing it, then it's rare that you'll get the most out of yourself. And that is true. You can learn all the reasons and get the tools to succeed. But really, it's more important than that you know why. Even Simon Sinek, he's got this TED talk that says start with why. Yes, it's for organizations, but you know what? It applies to individuals in our own life as well. Right, the next thing is you do need plans to achieve your goals. Many people want to skip this point, just have the goal to say I'm going to, be adamant and have affirmations and visualize daily and whatever it may be, and I'm going to achieve my goals. Please don't skip this part. Take the time to write out some plans. In Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill says, write out your plans, no matter how weak or impractical the plans may seem. What this means is you want to have a big goal. You want to have big dreams. You want to really go and stretch and become a much greater person, grander version of yourself than today. So these goals are quite big. You might not even know how you're going to do this. If I speak about my own life, when I was working in corporate, my dream was to, I was in a completely different industry. My dream was to be training, speaking, or coaching, having my own business. I didn't know how. So I came up with a plan. How weak or impractical at that stage it may seem, my plan at that stage was to renovate properties. So I went and I did a Sherry Barber course. It was 4 days while I was working in my corporate job, thinking that's my plan. So I came up with a plan. My mind started to think, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? And I love property. So property is like a passion of mine. I love investment property, and I don't even mind renovating. The only thing is it takes a lot of time. I went to do the course. I took the action steps. I got immersed in the property, thinking and the mindset, because that was my plan. It was not how I manifested leaving corporate and working for myself today. That's not how it happened. That never materialized at all. Let me say it clear. That plan never materialized. What materialized, in fact, was better than that. The point is, I came up with a plan. As he says, no matter how weak or impractical it may seem, when you have a plan, the reason you need one is you convince the conscious and subconscious mind that you're serious about accomplishing this goal. You're so serious that you're thinking out a plan. When it came to renovating for property, even though that was a plan, I didn't know how I would do it. How would I get the time to do it? I was working in a corporate full-time job. I didn't know how I would find someone to help me do it then. I didn't know how I'd have the money to do it. But I thought there's some way, maybe I can get a finance partner. I didn't know how I was going to even find the right property to renovate. But I knew that if I just started, the steps would unfold. The plan is the beginning of it's the catalyst. It's the beginning of it's like the lighting the detonator to get the thing off the ground. It's the launching pad. It's like a firecracker rocket. You just light the fuse. It's the beginning to set the thing off in motion. Oops, sorry. So have plans to achieve them. You don't really need to know how. And in fact, in the Silva method, we tell you when it comes to the certain exercise called Mirror of the Mind, which is for goal achievement, we say, suspend the need to know how. Just visualize accomplishing that goal. Just visualize living in that second place where you've got it and feel those emotions. Because the truth is, if you spend too much time thinking, how on earth will I ever achieve this? Your brain is going to use the reasoning faculty, which is a cave of your mind, and your memory, all the files of what you've previously done. And if you haven't done this thing before, your reasoning faculty is going to struggle with working out that you can do it. And it'll say, well, how are you going to do that if you've never done it before? And you're going to reject the idea. Boom, just like that, you'll reject the idea. So don't think about how, just come up with a plan, even though it may seem impractical, just come up with a plan. Any plan is good. It starts the process. So what we need for goal achievement is a strong desire, very strong desire. In fact, in Think and Grow Rich, it says a burning desire, and then it should actually become an all-consuming obsession. You do need to have a strong desire. And guys, you can really fire up that desire. It's the same as a fire. If you want more of it, add wood. The more wood you put in the fire, the bigger the flames become, the more heat you're going to create. Take your desire and fuel it. It's something you have all the capability to do. It's about the thoughts you think. Increase that desire with your thoughts, with your passion. Keep thinking about it. Tell yourself, I want to have a burning desire to do this. I really want this. Go back to the why, the purpose of the goal. Get your desire higher and higher through your purpose. The next thing is we need a lot of belief in ourselves, and also belief, don't know what your belief system or practice or faith or whatever it may be is, but if you do believe in a higher power, believe in that higher power co-creating with you, because the truth is we don't create anything on our own. There's an infinite source that governs this entire universe and creates everything, from every blade of grass to all the planets in this entire universe, to your perfectly wonderful, functioning, healthy body. So there is this infinite source. I call it God. Believe in yourself, believe in a higher power, and have expectancy that this will be achieved. That, my friends, desire plus belief plus expectancy is faith. So when I say you don't need to know how, don't need to know how to achieve your goals, it's faith that will see you through. It's faith that will carry you forward when you've got no idea what you're doing sometimes or where it's going to go. Just stick with your goal, keep refining your plans as you work and go forward, and have faith. The faith will help you overcome that need to know how. You don't need to know how. So it might seem impossible, but the desire is so important, because if you love it enough, you'll figure out and make it happen. You will. Now, let me tell you about some problems with goals. As I said earlier, most people take them for granted. It's that familiarity thing, excuse me. Most people don't do it seriously or consistently. So they might just have it, oh, it's New Year, so now it's time to set our goals. So we have this New Year syndrome, and we only set goals once a year. You can set goals anytime you like. That's why I have no problem delivering this in February. Otherwise, I would have said, oh, I have to do the goal-setting Meaningful Monday in January. No, you can set your goal at any time. You can do a new goal in July, anytime you like. Just be serious about it and consistently set yourself goals. And as you achieve them, set new ones for yourself. This is how we grow. This is how we become the best versions of ourselves. And this is really why we're here. What are we doing otherwise on planet Earth for this time that we're here, if we're not becoming greater and greater versions of ourselves? The other problem with goals is most people don't realize the power of goals. They take it lightly, then they don't want to write it down or put plans to it. We've covered that. So maybe that's changed for you now if it wasn't like that before. Most people don't know why they're even going for their goals. You must find reasons. You must get a strong why. Get a really good purpose for why you want that goal. And then you know what? Ask yourself this question. If you want more desire or stronger purpose, if I don't achieve this goal, what would it cost me? Now, this may sound negative, like, Jeanine, why are you telling us to think negatively? It may sound negative, but understand this. The way the human brain works, we are often more motivated by pain than by pleasure. I don't know if you know that. We are more motivated by pain than by pleasure. This is even the reason that many legislations are about pain. You park in the wrong spot, you get a fine. That pain makes us park in the right spot. So if you even think about yourself and, punishment sometimes versus being rewarded, we're very often motivated by pain. So there's both. You want to have both. You don't want to live on one side only. This is a yin yang. So think about what will it cost me, or how you'd feel if you didn't achieve it. I've sometimes thought about that. I thought, you know what, I would be so disappointed. I'd be so upset if I didn't achieve it. And that helps me stay focused. That helps me get more determination to achieve. So yes, do think about it. The human brain does need you to think across both the positive and the negative as well. And why goals work? Well, you know this. Thoughts become things. Thoughts are not just invisible nothings. Thoughts are one of the most powerful frequencies. They may be invisible, they may be intangible, but they really are strong frequencies, and they do create our reality, and they create our feelings. And that emotion is what really is what they call the law of vibration or the law of attraction. Everything we create in our lives comes from thoughts, which then have feelings that come afterwards. Also, goals work because they create focus. So if you ever do goal setting now and never look at them again and just have them in your mind, I'm going to say it's really not helping you stay positive, motivated, and focused. You do need to review them often. What I personally do is I've got my goals on like an electronic vision board on my iPad. Okay, I also do a paper vision board. However, this electronic one, let me tell you what I do personally. I have my vision statement on there, and my vision statement is often shorter and in very general terms. So I don't say, I'm so happy and grateful now, I'm in perfect health, and I work flexible working hours from any location, doing what I absolutely love to do. That's very general. Doing what I absolutely love to do. I'm not saying I'm doing leadership masterminds and training the Silva method and selling investment property. I'm just saying doing what I absolutely love to do. That's the general vision statement. Then what I do is I write down specific goals that will take me there, and these are more specific. Then I write down a description of what the life is like, having everything I want. So what is the description? And in there, I'm so detailed. How many properties I'm selling a month, how many masterminds I'm running, how many coaching clients I have, all the details in there, how my health is, how am I eating, what company I'm hanging out with, where am I going to improve myself on a personal level, where am I investing in myself, what am I doing on a spiritual level, what am I doing to grow spiritually. So that description is in there, and I also then have pictures, photographs, I even put music to it. And then I review this daily. I even record on an audio the description that I wrote, and when I read it, I either read it out loud or I play the audio. So I hear my own voice saying, in the present tense, I'm so happy and grateful now that I am in perfect health. I enjoy exercising. I'm healthy because I do this, I do this, I do this. All the detail is in there. The other reason why goals work is when you write goals down, you're actually acknowledging to the conscious and subconscious mind that you're actually not where you want to be. This creates this gap between where you are and where you want to be, a future ideal state. This creates what we call tension, the tension state between where you are and where you're going to be, and it creates a sense of pressure. My friends, pressure is good. I'll tell you why pressure is good. It gets you to act. If any of you ever need the bathroom, I'm going to say it, you need to pee, that's pressure. You either finish that conversation faster and faster and faster. If you're in a meeting and you're in charge of that meeting, you wind that meeting up so you can get to the bathroom. If you're driving somewhere, you go a little bit faster so you can get there. That's what pressure does. It gets you to act. It might be a strange example about the bathroom, but it's exactly the same when it comes to creating pressure with this desired state and where we are. Then I've written here, success is a trap. Dissatisfaction has power. Dissatisfaction has power in it. Don't underestimate the power of the awareness of the dissatisfaction of where you are. I'm not saying don't be grateful. That's why it says the bottom. The foundation is stay grateful. So what we really want is we want to be grateful every day for everything we have in our lives as it is right now. I'm happy and grateful for everything I have. However, not satisfied. This is nothing wrong with this. Not satisfied means you and I are aware that you and I have infinite potential. We have the potential to become way grander versions of ourselves. This becoming is what we're really after. This is the growth, the personal, spiritual, emotional, mental, physical growth is what we're after. How do we create the pressure to become this better person? We have goals. Goals are a reach out of where we are, and that's the gap. And why I say success is a trap, let me just share this with you. Jim Collins, he wrote the book Good to Great. Jim Collins also wrote a book called How the Mighty Fall. Wonderful book about organizations who just have a downfall and they just collapse and close, all right? How the Mighty Fall. He talks about 5 stages. And you know that the first stage is excessive pride from success. So it doesn't matter about all 5 stages, but let me tell you, stage 1 is excessive pride from success. And then it becomes, I'll just go through them quickly, undisciplined pursuit of more. So when if you're too much reveling in your current success, you will be undisciplined to pursue more. Then it goes into further stages where you deny the risks, you don't change, you don't grow, you don't think there's anything wrong. That's why I say success is a trap. There's also the saying, good is the enemy of great. So absolutely, when you have success, celebrate your success, be so grateful for it, and then get back to work, set new goals, and refocus that you keep growing. So for all of you, if you haven't done goal setting already, just quickly, this is the best way to do it. It's just 3 simple steps. Identify areas of your life where you're dissatisfied. Every area, your physical health, your emotions, your emotional health. Think about your emotional health, your spirituality, your intellectual state or health or current position. What do you want to learn? What do you want to upskill yourself intellectually? Think about yourself on a financial level. What money do you want? How much more do you want to create? Think about your relationships. Think about your fun and recreation. So think about all areas of your life where you're dissatisfied. That will create some healthy pressure. When you identify some goals, write them down. The next thing is, why do you want these goals? That's the purpose. This gives you a good, strong purpose. The strong why helps you overcome anyhow. Then ask yourself, lastly, what are 2 to 3 new beliefs that I'll need to have to achieve these goals? Sit and think about that question. What new beliefs will I need to have to achieve them? Because trust me, if you didn't need new beliefs, you would have achieved this already. And if you can uncover anything, it'll help you, because once you identify limiting beliefs, you can overwrite them. It's very hard to overwrite anything you don't know. So I hope that's helpful. Now, what is the power of goal setting and why does it work? So we spoke about writing it down. Writing it down creates the future. I'm just quickly going to put on the screen what we did in January's Meaningful Monday. If you didn't watch it, please go and watch the recording. Writing down goals creates your future because goal achievement is a lawful process. It's in accordance with universal law. This does not rely on your beliefs in these laws or your acceptance of them. It just is. They apply regardless. So when you're writing your goals, you're actually raising your vibration to experience that thought, that idea of how it would be if you had that. That is also the first manifestation of your goal, is writing it down. You might think that's really? Yes, really. It's the first manifestation. Also, the law of perpetual transmutation says energy is moving from one form into another form, and from that form into another form. And this is how life goes. All energy is neither created nor destroyed. It just changes form. So when you have the idea and you write it down, you're changing its form. Then it's written down. Then it's going to change form again. And that changing form is it moving into manifestation. Also, the law of relativity is your goal is better than where you are now. So you use that dissatisfaction to your advantage. That creates pressure. Remember, pressure is good. It's like creating diamonds. Diamonds wouldn't be diamonds if it wasn't for pressure. Otherwise, they'd be just plain carbon. The law of polarity is everything has its opposite. So the question is, when you're writing goals and you want more or better of something, be very aware. Do you love abundance more than you dislike struggle? Do you love health more than you dislike illness? You need to be aware of that so that you stay in the more camp of the positive one, because sometimes our awareness of not having creates it staying away from us. The law of rhythm, simple. Everything changes, ebb and flow, in and out, up and down. So just letting you know, through all the stages to achieve your goal, there are going to be good times and bad times. You have to learn to ride all of them and stay consistent and persevere. Of course, the law of cause and effect, writing your goals down is a massive causative action. Writing down goals is causative. So every cause is an equal and opposite effect. It's really taking you way ahead in achieving that goal. And the law of gender is just to remind you that everything has an incubation period. Every seed has an incubation period. So writing down your goals and focusing on them and reviewing them is all part of sowing seeds. It takes time, and all of a sudden the harvest starts to grow. What you sow, you shall reap. So that's the law of gender. So just stay focused, never give up. It's always in the creative process. Now, some practical tips on how to achieve your goals and prevent them falling by the wayside. Bring back your visualization practice if you're not doing it daily. I don't know if you are or you're not. If you are, high five. That's for you, high five. Keep going, stay there. If you're not visualizing, I'll say it again, daily, not once a week, daily. Bring back your visualization. You've heard this from everybody. I don't need to tell you again. There's previous Meaningful Mondays. I think the very first one or two that I ever did, the law of allowance was one of them, or the law of abundance or something. It's all talking about visualization. We do it in the Silva method. The mirror of the mind technique is definitely one, or hollow viewing is the other one. For those of you who have not done the Silva method, just visualize daily. And the most important thing when visualizing is you've got to keep playing the movie in your mind of having the thing until you experience emotion. It's got to be charged with emotion. The joy, the excitement, charged with emotion. The emotion is what creates. That's it, the end. The emotions is what is the creative force. Secondly, to achieve your goals, back to basics. The guys who did the John Maxwell Mastermind with me, you will remember how many times we spoke about plan and reflect daily. It's all over the mastermind. It was mentioned so many times. Plan and reflect daily. It takes a few minutes to plan the day. You could do it the night before, or you could do it that morning, whichever way suits you. But just have a little bit of a plan and just reflect at the end of the day. How did I go? Don't beat yourself up if you missed half your list. Don't do that. Keep yourself positive. Just say, what could I do to be better? Note it down. And say, I commit to doing my best to being better. I'll do better tomorrow. I'll give it my best. And you just try to get better and better every day. Lastly, this is so important. Get social support. To really get far in life, I have to tell you, we do need to share. We need to share our goals. Some people think their goals are totally private. They don't want to tell anyone. This is all my business. I don't want to say a word. Find someone who you can share it with. I don't mind who they are, even if they're a person in a meetup group or part of a committee that you are part of, or someone that you trust, or a retired person, so you don't feel like they're going to assess you in any way. Just find someone who you can share your goals with and ask them to keep you accountable. The best way to get ahead is to have an accountability partner or a coach. That's why coaches do work. They just keep a person accountable. That's really, really what it is. So I can just say the chances of succeeding without getting social support are very low. It doesn't matter who you share it with, but definitely put that into what you're going to do this year. Share it with someone and make them hold you accountable, and maybe you hold them accountable too. I just want to share this with you. You could find it online if you Googled it. This is from Brendan Bouchard. This is not Jeanine Sciacca's. I can be smart at times, but I wasn't this smart. I'll just quickly take you through this. It's written from the top down, but you action this from the bottom up. So you write your big projects and the things you need to do to take them forward. You make a note of them. Then you write down the people that you need to reach out to today. Who must I contact today that I have to reach out to get things done? No matter what, you've got to call these people. Write that down. Then write, who are you waiting on to contact you? There's always people we're waiting on. List those people who you need something from. Then what are your priorities for today? Write down, it says 10 things, whatever they may be. If it's 10 things, if it's 6 things, whatever. The 10 things I must do today, no matter what. Once you've written that down, you action this from the bottom up. Do the priorities first and start with the first one and don't do anything else until you finish the first one. Then go into the second one. Don't do anything else until you've done the second one completely. And so you go. And make sure you definitely also get hold of the people that you need to reach out to and that you are waiting to reach out to you. It might take you half an hour of phone calls or short emails, but definitely do that. At the very bottom, you might not be able to read what it says. The font is so small. But basically what Brendan Bouchard is saying is that be aware of your inbox. Your inbox is nothing but a convenient organizing system for other people's agendas. Whatever you do, every personal development guru will tell you, never start your day opening your emails. It's the most unproductive thing you could do, and it creates a very bad habit of being a follower of your own life as opposed to a leader of your own life. You want to lead your own life. You want to take charge of your own life. So do your priorities and then chase up the people. And then the projects up there, you're always going to keep working on, and you can use those projects to remind you of who you need to reach out to and who needs to reach out to you. This is part of what I've just said, the priorities. First things first every day. That comes from the 7 Habits of Highly Successful People from Stephen Covey. And you all might have heard the expression, eat your frog first. It just says, if your job is to eat a frog, it's best to eat it first thing in the morning. Then it's out the way. And if your job is to eat 2 frogs, you know, it's best to eat the biggest one first. If you can just do this, it'll change your life. If you're not doing it, I mean. If you're not doing this, if this is not how you run your day, this alone will change your life. I want to tell you something that made one of the biggest impacts on my life was I sat in the John Maxwell team event one year, and I think, Ben, you might have been there that year. That's where I met Ben. And John Maxwell was saying that someone asked him, what was your biggest turning point in your life? Now, this is John Maxwell. This is like the most successful author and speaker on leadership in the world. He's written like almost 100 books. And you're asking this guy, what was your biggest turning point of your life? And his answer was, the day I learned the 80-20 principle. That's the Pareto principle. It says that 20% of your activities give you 80% of your results. And 80% of your activities give you 20% of your results. And John Maxwell said he was in university in a lecture and he heard this Pareto principle being shared by lecture, and he went like this: this is going to change my life. This is going to change my life. This is going to change my life. Because he did. And it's this that is on the screen. First things first every day. If you did the priorities that will give you the most return first and got them done, you've knocked off 80% of getting your results. And if you don't get the other 80% of your things done, do you know that not much would change? I did a time management course when I was still in corporate. Anthony knows him, with Michael Walton. And he said, you've got to accept you're never going to get everything on your to-do list done. And once you can just accept that, then it helps you just know that the priorities I need to do them first. You'll be successful. You will be successful. Okay, so that's that. This one is just to say your mind is like a garden. If you think about a garden, if you don't tend to it, manicure it, put fertilizer in it, water it, it's going to become overgrown with weeds. It is true that 80% of our thoughts are negative. This is true. It's been, research has been done. If 80 to 85% of our thoughts are negative and we don't tend to our mind as a garden, it's saying that our default setting is to have negative thinking. And my friends, I must tell you, to achieve your goals, you need to stay positive. You need to stay positive. There's been times in my life when I'm so overcome with confusion or fear or self-doubt or something, and I know more than ever, I need to feed my mind, and I actually go on a binge of positive messages in my mind. I'll consume audiobooks, read, listen to podcasts, YouTube things, just to keep my mind positive until I get back on track. It happens to everybody. There's not a single person alive who doesn't need this. It's on the screen. Here are just a few books. There's not the whole list. I just put a few books out there that are pretty good. But whatever you do, feed your mind every day with something positive. I love this term, like your university could be in your car. And I listen to audiobooks permanently. I've always got one playing in my car and then other books at home. So do that. Don't spend time driving, listening to the radio. Put something on in the car that will educate your mind and keep you positive. If anyone's interested, just tell you what's coming up. This Think and Grow Rich mastermind that a couple of us I mentioned earlier have done. For me, it was the second time I've done it, and it was even more valuable than the first time. And even for those it was the first time, said it was fantastic and valuable. And it's really something a person should continue to review, not once or twice, but really for the rest of our lives. This book, for those of you who don't know it, it's not Think and Get Rich. It's Think and Grow Rich. It's probably the most comprehensive study of personal growth. So if anyone's interested, it's not right now because I'm going overseas for most of March. But when I come back, I will be kicking off a Think and Grow Rich mastermind. There are going to be 14 masterminds over a period of 8 weeks. The price includes the book. So if anyone's interested, just message me, text me, whatever it may be. You can either participate in the room. It'll be at my office in Concord. If you can't attend, you can come online via Zoom. And if you happen to miss one or any of them, they will be recorded and you will have access to them. Not everybody, just those who are in the mastermind. My friends, I can tell you, this is one of the most wonderful studies of personal growth and understanding how the mind works, intuition, how to develop all the qualities you need to be successful, like persistence, having faith, being good at making decisions, is all in this book. So if you are interested, please let me know as soon as you can. And of course, there's an early bird price there, as you can see. So just to summarize, we've discussed these things. Clarity when it comes to goals, write them down, have plans to achieve them. Energy, find your why, get your purpose, have self-discipline, visualize daily, plan and reflect, have social support, be productive, eat your frog first, remember the 80-20 principle. When it comes to influence, have some social support, get a coach, share it with an accountability partner, and then keep your courage up. That's your mindset, a winner's mindset, and then commitment. Remember, it's a you and you deal. No one can achieve your goals for you. You need to make a commitment to yourself that your discipline is going to get ramped up this year. You will do everything with, this is what I term a humble spirit. Because a humble spirit, if we remain humble, we remain with a spirit of teachability. The most successful people have a spirit of teachability. People who become arrogant and have a know-it-all mentality, they tend to, that's how the mighty fall. It's in that book. So this is a basic teaching here, some things you may have heard before. It's intentionally basic. It's intentionally what you may have heard before. For all of us, sometimes we need to be reminded that going back to basics really does work. And just remember that Harvard study, those significantly different results from simple goal setting a certain way, and then you need daily discipline to help yourselves get there. My friends, I hope this was valuable to you, and I open the lines. Just let me know what you think, and if you've got any questions, share them. Let's have a, if you want to get on and say anything, do it now. Otherwise, we're going to get ready for the meditation. Okay, someone tried to get on, couldn't get on. All right, no comments from anyone? Well, thank you very much for your time and attendance. Let's do this guided meditation. If anybody wants to still say something, please feel free to unmute yourself and just share anything that you want to share. Otherwise, what we'll do now is set the body and the mind for this month of February. So take into account everything you've heard when you go through this meditation, and get your mind to focus on this month. It is still the beginning of the year and a good start to go forward. At the end of the meditation, for anyone who's new, I'll ask a couple of questions. Whatever comes to mind, just write down those answers. Don't judge them or overthink them. Just make notes of them and trust those answers, because they do come from your intuition or your higher self, or whatever term you want to give it, but they do come from a far higher place than your conscious mind, and they are truth for you, and they definitely will help you in your life. All right, so I'm going to put on a little bit of music. Just get a pen and paper, rest it on your lap, and find yourself a comfortable position. I'm just going to switch my camera off for the meantime. Okay, so have your paper and pen ready. Hold it gently in a comfortable position. When we ask questions at the very end, if any answers come to mind, great, write them down. Then just take a deep breath and just return to your relaxed and centered state. If you don't get any answers, great, it doesn't matter. There's no right or wrong. The purpose is just to relax the body and relax the mind, and connect with your inner wisdom, or what we call our true selves, or your higher self, and just get to know for you that you can ask questions at any time. It doesn't have to be on Meaningful Monday, and you can get answers in your own life, and you can trust these answers. So close your eyes, take a nice deep breath, and as you exhale, just allow all the tension in your body just to release and float away. Take another deep breath, and as you exhale, feel your body relaxing. Feel the tension leave your scalp. Relax your forehead. Relax your eyes. Relax your cheeks. Relax your tongue and jaw. Relax your neck. Take a deep breath, and as you exhale, relax your shoulders, all the way down your arms and your hands. Take another deep breath, and as you exhale, just feel the tension leave your back, from the top of your neck all the way down your spine. Relax your chest. Relax your abdomen. Take a deep belly breath in, and as you exhale, feel your belly relaxing. Relax your pelvic area. Relax your thighs. Relax your knees. Relax your calves. Relax your feet. You are now experiencing a deep state of relaxation. You're now going to create in your mind an ideal place of relaxation. This can be a real or imagined one. Either somewhere that you've been or somewhere maybe that you'd like to go. Whichever it may be, allow it to be a place where you feel totally relaxed. As you think about this place, experience it right now. Imagine that you are right there. Use all of your mental senses to imagine your relaxed place. Now that you have created your ideal place of relaxation, you're going to add a waterfall of white light into the scene. Place it wherever you choose. The waterfall is gentle, allowing you to stand under this cascading white light. The light is a healing energy, a clearing energy. Your waterfall of light is now created. Walk over to the waterfall and stand under the white healing light. Allow the white light to swirl around you, encompassing you within its glow. Feel it clearing the stress, the tension, and the clutter from your day, from your week, from the previous month, from the previous year. Feel this waterfall of white light clearing all the tension and stress from the lifetime of your energy field, from your atmosphere or from your aura. As the light clears your energy field, just notice how much happier you look. Notice the smile on your face. See how the weights that you've been carrying are no longer a burden. Notice how your energy field is expanding out as you are radiating love. This waterfall of light is always available to you whenever you need it. All you need to do is close your eyes and imagine your ideal place of relaxation and immerse yourself in this healing white light. Now take a deep breath, relax, and repeat these beneficial statements to yourself mentally. Every day, in every way, I am getting better, better, and better. Positive thoughts, suggestions, and images bring me benefits and advantages I desire. I will always maintain a perfectly healthy body, mind, and immune system. The following statements are for your better health. Keep in mind that from now on, I will be speaking in your place. Every second, every minute, every hour, every day, every cell, tissue, organ, and system of my body is revitalized, restored, and renewed, resulting in a perfectly healthy body, mind, and immune system. I'm able to function in harmony physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually to promote maximum benefits. My awareness in using my mind allows me to do activities that promote increased health physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Now imagine the white light turns to green. You are now immersed in a glowing green light. This green light is unconditional love. It surrounds you. It encompasses you. It flows through your entire being. It fills you with love. Any hurts that you felt, any pain that you felt, the angry moments. Just allow this green light, this unconditional love, to heal all those spaces now. You are an amazing human being. You deserve love. You deserve joy. You deserve abundance. And you deserve peace. It is now time to step out of the waterfall. Step out of the waterfall of light. Your energy field is now clean and clear. You are centered. You are energized. You are able to think more clearly, focus more easily. You are in the flow. The flow of universal love and energy. Take a moment now to bask in this feeling of connectedness. You have now reset your body and mind for the month. It's now time to set your intention for the month. Tune into your higher wisdom. Tune into your higher self. The part of you that when you tuned in guides you and intuitively knows what is best for you. Feel the alignment with your higher self. Just trust that connection. And now ask yourself the following questions. What do I need to focus on for the month of February? Whatever comes to mind, write it down. Then take a deep breath, close your eyes, and just re-enter your calm meditation. What do I need to focus on for the month of February? Second question. What steps do I need to take me closer to what I want to be, do, or have? What steps do I need to take me closer to what I want to be, do, or have? Whatever comes to mind, just write it down. Next question. What do I need to let go of? Whatever comes to mind, write it down and take a deep breath and just re-enter your calm state. What do I need to let go of? And lastly, is there anything else I need to know? Or is there anything else I need to do? Now allow a deep breath, and as you exhale, relax. Gently bring your attention back into your body. Gently wiggle your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, open your eyes, have a big stretch. Lots of blessings to all of you. I'm just going to unmute all of you now and say welcome back. Some of you I can't unmute. You're controlling your own mute buttons. How was that for everybody or anybody? Did anybody get any helpful answers is the question. No, yes, maybe? Joanna, how did you go?
Pretty good.
Did you get something helpful?
Um,
You don't have to share if you don't want to, but you can if you do want to. You just have to say if you got anything that was helpful.
yeah. I've been thinking something, and I think I'm start working in something new.
Okay, good. And
Yeah.
how about you, Lachlan? How did you go?
Yeah, it was good. One thing that I would share that I need to let go of is a little bit of a family conflict going on at the moment about the whole wedding situation. Won't go into the details, but yeah, it's just good to let go of some resentment that I'm feeling towards somebody.
Wow, that's quite powerful, actually. Yeah, all I can say is you've got to trust the answers that you get, that they're right for you.
I got a cryptic response, Jeanine.
And
It's just, what else do I have to do to achieve that? Was that the last question?
the last question was, is there anything else I need to know? Or is there anything else I need to know?
There was one of them that said, what do I need to do? What do I need to focus on or whatever? And the answer was be there.
Be there.
Yeah, and that was all I got.
How do you interpret that?
I don't know. I could interpret that in many ways, but maybe I need to do a long relax again and have another think about it.
Yeah, or I don't know if it means be present. Like to be there, fully associated, fully in the present moment. I don't know if it means that. You know what I mean?
It's interesting.
Unless it means something else for you. But you can always do this again and just ask that same question, what does it mean for me? And you will get an answer. You will get an answer. So the main point is you can do this on your own anytime. Just relax, take your time to relax and ask yourself any question you want. You could ask these questions or different questions. You will get answers. Yep. So for yourself, Anthony, you can interpret it on a way that you will probably intuitively know what it means. Your intuition will probably guide you there. For me, I would say be there means be present. That's what I understand. It means be, fully be when you are wherever there.
Yep. Okay.
All right. Anyone else? No? Yes? I'm just going to stop the recording.